Rio Ferdinand drops huge Ineos warning in his podcast talking about what is going on at Manchester United regarding Dan Ashworth. Going to bring you all of that, what Rio said. We've got a clip, if anybody hasn't seen it already, on the show tonight, so you know exactly what has been said. Why is this happening? Why is this stirring so much emotion from the likes of Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, who've had big says on what's happening right now? I'm going to tell you exactly why, because this runs deep. Manchester United, apparently, according to The Athletic, are low on morale, low on everything. The vibe around Christmas is of downbeat attitudes at the football club. All of that reports to come as well. Absolutely shed loads of transfer news. For some strange reason, it's gone completely mental with Manchester United. Going to dig through all of that and just completely bin off what is right and what is wrong and what's going to definitely be a possibility and what's not. We'll get into that. The Director of Football, interesting take from me on the Director of Football that Manchester United are being linked with and who would be the right fit, because there's more news on that coming out as well. We've got absolutely loads to get through, like I said, so we're going to get straight into it. Get your comments in the live chat, everybody. Get right into the show tonight. That's all I want from you, nothing else. Get in there and give me what you think. Give me what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking, and let's get into what's happening at the football club right now. Over the weekend, of course, we covered all the Dan Ashworth situation. We pretty much put it to bed with this Jim Radcliffe's thing at the moment, but the aftermath continues. Everybody who has got a microphone in front of them is having their say, and quite rightly so. And there are some big names having a say at the moment, and Rio Ferdinand is one of them names, and he isn't happy at all. And this is quite brutal, because you've heard Rio Ferdinand talk to players before. You've heard Rio Ferdinand speaking about certain players at Manchester United, bigging them up. He's done the interviews. He's been in and around Carrington. And this is absolutely... I won't say it blew my mind, but it definitely made me stand up and go, oh, actually, I don't think he realises what he's saying there a bit. Or is he confident that something is going to happen at Manchester United? Could this could come back to bite him on the arse in terms of what he does and how he interacts with certain players at the moment? But just take a listen to this.
I just hope they're this brutal as they have been with the staff that have been there for years, and that they're culling, right? I hope they're this brutal with the players that are there.
Yeah.
If there's any players that are there, and ones that have either been there too long, or the ones who just ain't good enough,
gotta go, bro.
Be as brutal as they've been. Get them the fuck out, quick, ASAP.
Obviously, the swear words were cut out there. Thank you, everybody. It wasn't me who did it, but thankfully Rio Ferdinand's team did that. But I can just, because it's my show, tell you exactly what he said there. Get these shit players out of Manchester United. Get them the F out of Manchester United. I hope they're this brutal with the playing staff when it comes to the chance and when the window opens, as they are with all of the staff that they've got rid of at Manchester United. So not just Dan Ashworth. Rio Ferdinand's talking about the staff, the 250 members of staff that have been working there for years that have been let go. Everything that's going on at the football club at the moment, all eyes and all focus is on them players in red shirts right now, and there is nowhere to hide. Everybody is piling in on this right now, and the pressure is starting to tell, I feel, because I think there is some players here that are crumbling under the pressure. But the significance of Rio Ferdinand saying this is because of exactly what I said at the start of the show. His whole model on his podcast is getting players and speaking to players, building up relationships. Not 2 months ago was Rio Ferdinand in a golf buggy going around Carrington, driving around with players, talking to Van Nistelrooy. Diogo Dalot was in that buggy as well. And there's rumours tonight that Diogo Dalot is out the door and Real Madrid wants him. United are saying that that's not true. We'll get into the transfers in a minute. Well, this is what I mean. Rio Ferdinand's in and about these players close. He's getting a lot of dealings and a lot of inside info, and obviously knows quite a few people. He is now coming out, I feel, as a United fan more than anything, or someone who's played there before. And I think the emotion of what Ineos are doing right now, and everything that they've done over the last few days, the last few months, like we spoke about this morning, the hiring and firing and all of that, and staff, ticket prices. He talks about that as well, Rio Ferdinand, about ticket prices. I don't always listen to these pundits. I don't always agree with what Gary Neville says. I don't agree with what Rio Ferdinand says a lot. But when they say something that's right, then it needs to be made clear that we're all on the same page. Just because we don't agree with a certain opinion at one point doesn't mean that we're not going to agree with something that they say is right, because Rio Ferdinand is bang on the money with this here. I don't, like I said, agree with most of the stuff he talks about, but this is spot on. It is. And this emotional side of people is coming out right now because of what Ineos are doing and the way that they're acting and the treating people and the treating of people around the football club. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had some absolutely ludicrous, stupid comments come upon me about how the working class people and the local fans shouldn't count. This is just the way it should be, and ticket prices aren't expensive at 66 quid. Honestly, everyone's got their own opinion and everybody sees it differently, but it is stirring the pot, and everybody's coming to the surface right now with a big opinion. And it's mainly Manchester United fans. And I feel a fan is coming out of pundits. I feel a fan is coming out of professionals. And you're seeing it and hearing it in conversations on podcasts. People talking in the street. People talking in the stands. Everywhere. Everybody's talking about this, about what is happening. I was listening to what Henry Winter was saying about Manchester United off the back of what Andy Mitten did with his interview with Sir Jim Radcliffe. There is so much gone wrong so quickly at Manchester United over the space of 2 weeks. It is going to get people talking, and I think this is what's happening right now. Rio Ferdinand, who is a Manchester United fan, he obviously knows the club, he loves the club. You've seen it in how he actually operates within his punditry jobs and where he works. You know he talks glowingly about Manchester United, Sir Alex Ferguson and his years there at the football club. He loves the club. I think that's safe to say. Whether you like him or not, he still loves Manchester United. And what he was saying there is going deep into the staff and what's happening. And again, like, players would not get away with this under Sir Alex Ferguson. I think that's what's maybe made him look at this right now, because he knows a lot of people that have probably lost their jobs at United. Trust me on this. I've been there. I know people that have been there and have worked their way up from turnstiles to working with the first team and looking after first team players and getting a job at United that have just been cut off. I know a lot of people that worked at United that are no longer there, and they've been there for years. And Rio will know these people. Gary Neville will know these people. And Ineos have come in, and it's all right, Sir Jim Radcliffe saying, look, you have to make the big calls. Yes, you do have to make the big calls, but until you back it up with, like what Rio Ferdinand says, get these effing shit players out of this football club, nobody is going to be on side with Sir Jim Radcliffe and Ineos. No matter who you bring in, nobody will believe in anything that you're saying until the players are out of the door. That pretty much is Rio Ferdinand's message right now. I feel like it's bang on point, and he's speaking like a fan. He's speaking for the fans on this. I've not heard anybody since this has come out disagree with what Rio Ferdinand said. I think he's bang on the money. I don't know if he's just doing it to appeal to the fans. I doubt it because of what I've just said there and the fact that he's got Manchester United at his heart. I do believe that it is meaningful, and I do believe that he believes in what he's saying right there in that podcast. And he believes, and I think he's just called out Man United players. He's called out every single Man United players. The shit players, the ones that have been there too long. I'm telling you right now, I mean, I think he is quite pally with Marcus Rashford, but he comes to mind as soon as he says that. Players that have been there too long, Marcus Rashford, the shit players. You could argue that with any Manchester United player right now with the fan base. We've all got opinions who we think is crap at the moment and doesn't belong at Manchester United. But honestly, right now, that, I think, from Ferdinand, just stirred the hornet's nest even more. I think when people like Neville and people like Rio Ferdinand come out and hit the club, I'm not saying that they're slagging him, they are criticising the club. Like, it's confusion, Ferdinand said. It's poor, Gary Neville said in his statement as well about what the club have put out. It's not good enough, and it isn't good enough for Manchester United and the name. The brand is taking a massive hit right now since Ineos have come in, and maybe this is the short-term loss for long-term gain. We'll be talking about it differently maybe in 2 or 3 years and look back on this and go, God, remember them days when it all looked crazy and everything's working well right now. But when you've had 10 years of anarchy and carnage, which Manchester United have been, the fan base can't see anything else but a negative right now and problems coming, because we've seen it happen for over a decade since Sir Alex Ferguson left the football club. So forgive us for feeling a bit negative about certain things that are going on if you're watching him from the outside, but this is what happens, and this is what has been happening. It's embedded into Manchester United fans to feel like there's something going to go wrong, and this is all going to end in disaster for Sir Jim Radcliffe and Ineos right now. And it keeps coming down to the same things. Everybody is saying the same things right now. Cuts here, cuts there, he's gone, he's been hired and he's gone again. That's not good enough. There are only certain people that are left at this football club. The only people that are left at Manchester United of any significance in any key role are the ones that walk out over that white line every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bleeding Friday with the way the Premier League's going right now. You get what I mean? It's them men on that pitch. The ones in the red shirt, they're the only ones that are left. And it's time that everything came back down on them. The buck now stops with them. They've got everything that is there. And this is what Ferdinand's saying. That's the issue that big players that have been at Manchester United have got. And they're not going away. The voice is always going to be there. You've got Rio Ferdinand on national TV, on podcast. You've got Gary Neville doing the same. He's bringing in the likes of Roy Keane and Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney, big names. Every single week, Rio Ferdinand the same. Berbatov. You've got Van der Sar there as well. You've got loads. Ronaldo, for God's sake, Rio Ferdinand's talking to. And they're all saying the same thing. The standards at Manchester United are shit. And it needs to change. You can't polish a turd. You can give a player a contract. It doesn't mean that because you think he's going to be good in the future, that he is going to be good. The warning signs are there after 2 years with every single player. If he's not improving, then it's not the right club for him and he needs to be moved on. This is where Manchester United are at right now, and at the moment, it just looks like nothing is going to turn a corner and everything is going wrong. Hopefully, Ruben Amorim, being the only shining hope that we've got right now, can get something out of these players and these failures at this football club. I think that there is potential there, and I keep saying it, there is potential there. Not in the whole squad. Honestly, about 3/4 of them can just happily walk out the door for me, and that's what I'm talking about here. There are players that get tarnished with the same brush that I feel are good enough at this football club. But while you've still got the deadbeats around, they're always going to drag them down. And this is exactly what Ferdinand said there. I'm going to come into the comment section right now on that. The clip was there. You all listened to it. You've all heard it. Give me your thoughts on it, please, everybody. Thank you so much for the likes already. 110 in the bag. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Over 700 in the room. Make sure that you've hit that like button if you're loving the content. Subscribe as well, please, everybody. That way you can get into this live chat. This is all your moment now for the next few minutes. So get your comments flooding in, please, everybody. Let's get into this now. Skilliano says, short-term pain, long-term gain under Amorim. Eric Ten Hag spent 600 million on garbage players. Amorim won't change things overnight, but he needs the right staff above him to buy the players he needs. Well, Dan Ashworth would have been the man in charge of all that. He's gone right now. So how do Manchester United approach this new setup now? Is it a new guy coming in? That is to come later on as well. Let's stay in with the chat and see what you're all saying. These wasters know they are getting the boot. Gonna put more. Not asked now. Director of Football, Bruno's contract extension after his agent shopped him around Europe with no takes other than Saudi should have been a red flag. Ashworth wasn't cut out for United's future vision. Bruno should be first. End of the day though, mate, you have to look at it in real terms. And again, I know you hate Bruno and you always bring him up, and you know I hate it, because there's no point in this debate, because Bruno right now with 3 years to go means you can sell him and get money. Bruno was never going to go within the next 2 years. And in 2 years, his contract would have been up and then we'd have got nothing for him. So I think it has to be looked at as well within the football business side of things as well. And yeah, I don't think the contract for Bruno was right. I don't think the contract for Marcus Rashford was right. It's weird, considering what they've been doing, that them players got big deals. Obviously, Rashford was before Ineos came in, and make that clear. But Bruno's, again, it just seemed a bit strange that they give him so much so soon. Like I said, I think Bruno deserved another contract. The money that he's on, that is massively debatable. But I do believe that Manchester United can still sell Bruno one now he's got that contract, because he does have the quality and he does put the numbers up, whereas other players don't. That's the difference. I know someone who did the painting at Old Trafford who has been laid off. So even minor jobs are being done away with. Incredible. It is incredible. All these people that are losing the jobs. And there's a news that's come out today, and people are talking today about Manchester United cancelling the Christmas party. I think what you've got to look at with this is as well, out of respect for everybody that's gone, when corporate businesses or big businesses or industries go through these big clear-outs and cuts and start making people redundant, I think out of respect, they usually wouldn't do a Christmas party just because it's so close and it's still hard-hitting. So let's bear that in mind as well. Like, if you have just lost your colleague who has been working with you for years, or you are that person that's been let go, and then you see everybody partying at the football club, it's really not the right vibe, is it? It's not the right thing to do. And I think most people at United probably wouldn't be too bothered about the Christmas party out of respect as well for their former colleagues. And that has to be brought in. Some people want to do, obviously, and don't care. Some people will feel it's a bit awkward. So for this year, maybe it is the right thing just to not have a Christmas party. Then maybe these staff will then come around to the idea and work a little bit harder under Sir Jim Ratcliffe next year. I don't know. Right now, he is praying that this all works for him, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Because like I just said, every decision he's making at the moment seems to be one that pisses everybody off. And he doesn't care. That's the big issue that we've got with this. He does not care about the damage that he's causing. He doesn't care about the backlash of anything, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Relegation could prove to be the reset required at desperate times. United are never getting relegated. Not a chance in hell, so we can forget about that. We can't afford to lose another manager. They have to support Ruben Amorim with a clear-out. That definitely needs to happen, Babs. Simon says, never forgive Rio for the Qatar deal is done statement outside the train station and puts the deal on the table for Ollie's statement. He's learned. He must have learned by now. He must have. Keep it shut on certain situations, Rio. I agree. It's not right. It's not the right message to host an extravagant party, but hopefully they will get something nice, says Kaz. True. I agree with that as well. You got Ross with a super chat. Thank you, mate. I just hope they continue to bring in players in their prime and young up and comers, adding more older players on huge salaries with their primes behind them is not going to help them at all. I don't think older players are even on the agenda for United anymore. That's one thing that I think we can all be safe in the knowledge of that Ineos won't be doing, which is bringing in older players. The recruitment side of things, there is definitely a profile of player that Ineos are after, and players over the age of 28, 27 are probably not that. I think that's what we've got to look at. Who's looking forward to Sunday? I've got City fans, family members, so please let's show up for once. Come on, United. I'm looking forward to it and I'm not looking forward to it is the answer to that one for obvious reasons. Get rid of Rashford, Shaw, Dalot, Bruno, Ericsson, Casemiro, Anthony Maguire and Lindelof. Leave next summer in any case. They're leaving in next summer in any case. Yeah, well, you've got a few players that are out the door no matter what. We've discussed them already. We know who they are. It's the bigger names that I think everybody wants out at Manchester United. I don't think calling off the Xmas party is a good shout, to be honest. Same as raising the ticket prices. Get rid of the deadwood and save us a fortune. On that, though, there, what Louise says, you're kind of arguing amongst yourself right there in that one statement there and one comment from Louise, because ticket prices are up, fans are suffering, and then United staff are all going for a party. It doesn't look good either way. And how bad is missing a Christmas party? Are you really bothered about a Christmas party with everything that's going on? I mean, seriously, there's bigger things at play here right now. But some people think that that is big news, and I've broadcast it all over social media today. Oh, God dear. Oh, dear. Fan base calls that this Amorim should have been appointed earlier so he could have pre-season to work on these lazy, overpaid, injured, faking players. Ooh, Devon with a hard-hitting comment, to say the least there. Kind of agree, though. It should have been Erik ten Hag out in the summer. I said it all along. I knew it was going to end in tears. Everybody did. Even the ones that said he should have stayed, seen it ended in tears. And it looks now like this is come to backfire on Man United. And we're having to deal with the aftermath of all this shit. Because if United were playing well on the pitch, guarantee you, like I always say this, that everything off the pitch that's going on really wouldn't have counted that much. Man United operate better when results are better. When United are not performing on the pitch, expect news to come out every other day about something going wrong at the club. It's inevitable, sadly. But that's the way this club works. It does with every big club, to be honest. Our best team was the 99 treble winning team. How many of this current squad get in the team under Sir Alex Ferguson? To be honest, Terry, I don't think it was. I think the 2018 was better, personally. But I do believe that there is no point in comparing different areas at football clubs. I really don't. To be honest, I think we've got our own problems. We don't even need to compare with Sir Alex Ferguson's to depress ourselves even more. But you are right. It is a it's a million miles away from what we would hope this club could actually produce in terms of a combative or competitive team, isn't it? It really is. Didn't they cancel the Christmas party last year too? I do remember hearing some fun stories from these parties. Yeah, I think they did cancel last year. That does ring a bell as well, guess. I do. I wonder what fees we could expect for some of our players. Only United will know. Only United will know. To clear the deadwood, you need to find teams who are actually willing to buy them. Tried a number of them last season with no takers. Look, we've managed to move players on still. United structure will move players on. I think that there are people that will take Marcus Rashford. I think there are people that will take Diogo Dalot. I think there are people that would take Bruno Fernandes. Just picking them players out because they're the ones that everyone's talking about. I personally wouldn't sell Dalot and Bruno right now. I can see the appeal for Dalot because he's young. He has got something, but isn't working at United. And we can get money for him. Rashford, gone. Give me 35, 40 million now and sling your hook. Honestly, that's where I'm at with him. We all know that. Bruno, I just feel like there's no one out there that's going to give us that goal output that he's got right now and what he can do. I know he's got his issues. I know people don't like him. I know he frustrates the hell out of us at times as well. But he works his ass off and does provide as well and has got something. Look, if someone came in with the right money for him, then you have to consider it. As long as you've got someone to come in who is going to be an adequate replacement. I think that's important to remember as well. Getting rid of the Christmas party on top of the FA Cup stuff last year clearly shows a lack of care of staff and employees. I don't see anything regarding the players being cut back to fund these debts. No, they never will because they're under contract. But let's not forget, these people are being made redundant and given money as well to leave. This is just what happens. No one was moaning about Manchester United under Ineos cutting the staff privileges last season going into the final. I think I can remember safely saying that everyone was saying that this is what we should be doing. The summer camp effect at United and this hard-hitting business model that needs to come in. And everyone was fine with it last season. But again, this is the problem that it makes. And the decisions that Ineos are making and everything that they're doing are bringing out this situation from within Rio Ferdinand, from within other pundits. This is what it creates. You start to look back on things that have happened before and then you start to question them and like, why are you not keeping the same standards later on down the line? Well, let's not forget, Manchester United did cut 17 members of the playing staff in the summer. And that was a pretty decent start. And we did cut a lot off the wage bill there as well. Now let's look at the playing staff this summer. And then we can safely say, on the two Ineos summers, they have done more than what the Glazers did in 20 years in cutting players out. So on the players outside of things, I see the concern. I've said it. I've mentioned it. I talk about it continuously about backing Ruben Amorim. But I will give them time to actually act on it in the summer. If we're going into next season and we've still got the same core of players, Marcus Rashford is still in this side, getting game time, then I will be as concerned as most people right now. I don't know if it's most people. I think everybody realises that they have to give Ineos at least till the summer to get players out, surely. I think that's quite normal, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's where we're actually at with it right now. It's like, get to the summer and let's see what they do from there. I think that's important to remember as well. They do need the time. Like, they cannot move anyone on right now. They've already done 17. Let's see what happens in January. I don't think there'll be much. But next summer, I think that's Judgment Day. Judgment time, whatever you want to call it, throughout the summer. Welcome to the Members Club. Call me Moon. Anim. Great name, by the way. Thank you. Gifted membership from the Honest Tiger as well. Thank you for that, my friend. Let me just see who got that one. That was SGY. Welcome to the Members Club. We have a poll running as well, everybody. Please get involved in that. Did United make the right call in sacking Dan Ashworth? 73% of you at the moment, of which there are just under 500 votes straight in on that one, have said, yes, it was the right call. I think anybody who wants to keep Ten Hag and then bring in Southgate deserves a sack anyway. I think when we're looking at it as fans and we're just looking for one particular reason out of everything that there is there behind the scenes, wanting to keep Ten Hag and then bring in Gareth Southgate, I think, see you later. Sling your hook. There's no way that's going to allow a Man United fans from one extreme to the other. Disagree with cancelling a party. FR regular staff. So thanks for renewing the membership as well, Louise. A lot of people are going to disagree with it. People are not. Honestly, it depends if you're used to that sort of environment as well. Honestly do. I don't disagree with it. That's just my opinion. Everyone's got their own look on it, which is what this is all about. But no matter which way you look at it, you can look at it what Louise said there. She's not happy with it. You look at it what I'm saying it. I don't think it's as bad. Wherever you say, when you round it all up, it's just mass confusion. It's just complete and utter carnage. And it just sets a really bad vibe about everything right now. The timings of what Ineos do and when they announce things is the most baffling thing I have ever seen at a football club. Like, you raise the ticket prices, you cancel Christmas dues, you sack your director of football, well, in the middle of a really bad spell and poor form at the football club. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely ludicrous. You'd never see anyone or any big club making the decisions that United are doing under Ineos. It just shows you that Sir Jim Radcliffe wants things done very, very quickly, and he's going to stop at nothing to get what he wants. He's just going to keep hiring and firing until he gets to where he needs to be. And that's on him and how much money he's going to lose. But don't use the fans to pay for it. I think that's the big message in all of that. But yeah, I mean, which way you look at it, Rio Ferdinand nailed it in his comments. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with what he said there. I definitely am not. It's now time to see what Ineos do with the players, and I think that's the important thing above everything else. Okay, into the transfer news, second part of the show, of which there was loads. I touched on Dalot being one of them players in the golf buggy with Rio Ferdinand. He has been rumoured to be well and truly on Real Madrid's radar. I think I've done 2 or 3 videos on Dalot now, and Real Madrid wanting him. And the truth is, yes, Real Madrid, apparently according to Ben Jacobs, are very interested in Diogo Dalot. Manchester United have said that they're not willing to sell him, but Madrid feel like a 45 million bid is going to be more than adequate to take Diogo Dalot away from Manchester United. Straight into the chat, get your comments in, because I'm going to read through some other news as well. I think that has got legs. There is realism in that one, so I'm going to put that in the category of true and definitely could happen. If a decent bid like 45 million comes in for Dalot, are you taking it? Get into the comments and let me know on that one. Alphonso Davies, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there, news is that Bayern Munich have been made clear that Alphonso Davies' people have told Bayern Munich that Manchester United and Real Madrid have both approached the player with offers. I don't know how far down the offers are, or if there is offers. I think I've just made the offers bit up, but they have approached Alphonso Davies, and Bayern Munich know about it. So like I said on the last time we touched on Alphonso Davies, talking about him on how he's looking at this and what Bayern Munich are doing. Bayern Munich now will be working overtime to try and get him signed up to a new deal. That's what will be happening, 100% guaranteed, before January starts, because then officially he can then negotiate a new deal with someone else. As we know, a team from outside of the Bundesliga are allowed to approach a player who's in the last 6 months of his contract, and they can negotiate a deal for him to move and sign that deal there and then in January. So United could make the transfer happen in January for him to arrive in the summer. That is completely legal and completely doable. So take that. It's set to minimum 40 million or use as a squad player for Dalot. Lots of people agreeing that Dalot should go. Andrew Short has just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Andrew. You absolute legend. Just going to run through them new members quickly now. They've gone to Ivan, C74M, Carrie MJ, Martin, and Kevin Kilban 2007. Welcome to the members club, everybody. Quickly as well, Conrad Lehmer from Bayern Munich, Christian Folks has come out and said that can't see that one happening. This is a guy that's got 2 years left on his contract at the end of this season, who is featuring an awful lot for Vincent Kompany and Bayern Munich this season. I cannot see how that deal happens at all. Would I take him? I like him. 27, profile of player, probably a bit older than what Ineos want to do and want to spend. Are there other options there? Yes. So for that one, as much as I did like him a couple of years ago, I definitely would have taken him. Now, Very, very good player, by the way. I don't even want to say that he's not or make it sound like I'm putting that out there that he's not good enough for United. He is. The right type of player right now, profile-wise, I would say no. Not at the moment, not for me. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But you got me. Let me know. And obviously, when we finish the live, because I can't get through to everyone's live chats at the moment, I can see a lot coming through. I just haven't got the time to read them all out. I can still read some of them as they're going down. And yeah, I like the look of the conversations that are going on right now. There are some brutal ones in there as well. Can we get rid of Rashford after Rashford train, please? At this point, it's irrelevant. We cannot sell him right now. We can't sell him in the winter. Summer only. We get it. You don't rate him. Jesus. That's come from Greg. I don't know if you're going to go at me there, Greg, or not. Marcus Rashford, he's on the top of everybody's lips. I'm not talking about him tonight. There's been a big article in ESPN. There's one out on other accounts. He's the clear man when you talk about players that have been there too long. So, yeah, in the midst of the whole conversation, he's going to come up inevitably. This is what happens when you put yourself out there as Mr. Man United and you're not performing. I did just explain that this is what happens with United. When things are going bad, everything gets built up into more and more news. And the tabloids, the journalists, the media will all get leaks coming out of the club. And this is just what being a big club is. It happens at all of them. And Rashford is front and centre of a big club, Manchester United. So he has to deal with this. And he will keep getting talked about as long as he's crap on the pitch. We would like to talk about him being good. And we've said this. We're going to be wearing pink and green wigs if Rashford hits a certain target this season in celebration that he's turned his career around. So, yeah, there is good with it as well as the bad. Unfortunately, he's the maker of the bad, not us. Just to make that point. But, Greg, you didn't need to put a super chat in to explain. Sorry, mate. I was just explaining it, having a laugh, but I appreciate it a lot, mate. Thank you. Wasn't aimed at you. Don't worry. Still love you. Just be patient. He will go. Oh, look, I've lost patience with Marcus a long time ago, but I've had to come to terms with it, mate. And honestly, I've given up. I've given up. I only talk about him now because of what's happening and what the reality is of everything on the pitch. I want to be talking about football. I don't want to be talking about all of this going on off the pitch, but we need to know about it as fans. It's important that we do know about it as a fan base as well. Would you take Victor Osimhen for 62 million in January? Because apparently there is a release clause within his loan deal from Napoli that if someone comes in the January window and offers 62 million, then he will go no matter what Galatasaray say about it. If someone pumps up 62, I don't know where we get that money from or how much money we've got to spend, but Osimhen is available in January for 62 million. Man, if you thought, where's he gone? What's happening? Why is nobody taking him? He's on loan at Galatasaray because no one would pay what Napoli wanted. Is he worth the money? He's at the right age. He's a brilliant striker. He's had 13 games this season for Galatasaray. And he's got 10 goals and 5 assists. So, yeah, he's still got it. He's still very good. Yeah, that is in the Turkish Premier League. But still, 62 million. You've seen what he did in Syria. He's doing the same thing, if not better, in Turkey with a worse team. Would you take Osimhen at 62 million in January? Is he worth that money? When you consider we paid 70 for Rasmus Højlund, I think the answer to that would be yes, I would pay 62 million for Victor Osimhen. You would, wouldn't you? I mean, he's a fantastic striker. I would love him at Manchester United. He's everything that we haven't got right now as well. It is painful watching Manchester United. Jonathan David is another one I would take. Apparently, he is more than willing to come to the Premier League. Could United go for him? 17 goals in 23 games. I did put a shout out early on about that deal, actually. Manchester United can do. Inter Milan are leading the race for Jonathan David. He is a free agent. He has got 4 in 5 in the Premier League this season as one of the best conversion rates in the Champions League alone this season. He has had an outstanding season. Again, 17 in 23 games for Lille, getting better every year, and he's free, and he's 24. Oh my God, you could get Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies for nothing and clear 2 problems that United have got. He does play a little bit tennis, so I don't know if that suits us, but for free, if you ain't got any money. I'm just saying that there are options out there for United, and it can happen. Trust me, it can. There are always ways around it. God, man, honestly. Quickly, I wanted to touch on the Director of Football situation. Where is the time going? Oh, my God. Please do hit the subscribe button and the like button, everybody, as well. Get involved, please. Help us get to that 70k. That's our next target on the subscriber list, so please do if you haven't already. Just tap that like button as well if you're loving the content. Okay, so Manchester United looking at a new Director of Football. We talked about Andrea Berto from Atleti yesterday. There was another name that's come up, Luis Campos from PSG. Again, you're thinking PSG. Chelsea are after him. Arsenal are after him as well. And you're wondering why. Like, obviously, this is a red flag for me, by the way. I just look at this straight away. You'll see the stories. It's all over social media that Luis Campos is on Manchester United's radar. The reason I don't like it and why I would take Andrea Berta over him, and I'm not acting like I know either one of these, but you obviously do your checks, you look into the history, and last night I was talking about Andrea Berta and what he's achieved at Atleti in winning them 5 trophies. He's been there 11 years as a sporting director and helped them progress and fight against the juggernauts that are Real Madrid and Barcelona, but still, he has been there and has been ever reliable. I would prefer someone who has been at a club for a long, long time over someone that has been here, there, and bleeding everywhere. And right now, I looked into Luis Campos' record. He hasn't been at a football club in any role or any particular role for more than 2 seasons. In fact, if he makes it through to this summer, his job that he's doing right now, which is a strategic advisor at PSG, his job that he's doing there right now will probably be his longest serving one. He's been at 15 clubs. 15 clubs. He's never been there more than 2 years at any of them clubs. That is a red flag straight away for me on that one. No idea who he was until his name was mentioned. I'm not even going to act, like I said, like I know him or be an expert on this. But when you look into the history, does that not ring an alarm bell? It does for me. Andrea Berto, I don't know much about him as well. So, yeah, I just look at the histories. I look at stability. I think that is key for United right now. Key. Quickly, a few other bits that are coming out. Ruben Amorim and key decision makers at Manchester United have earmarked Christian Eriksen and Antony as players who could be sold in January to boost the transfer budget. So United looking to cash in on Eriksen and Antony. That's how you would get Osimhen, or get some money towards him anyway. Christopher Vival will be very heavily involved in the January transfer window for Manchester United. That's come from David Ornstein. He's stepping up into a more of a director of football sort of role in the absence of Dan Ashworth as well. Everybody, I just want to say a massive thank you again for all of your contributions, all of your comments, everything in the show today. I am going to end the show there. I do need to get out and pick my son up. This is life. This is what is happening right now. It's all real, everybody. Well, thank you, everyone. Absolutely love that. So much to get through. And anything that I've missed, I will bring back up in the live show at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning as well. As you all know, I've got you covered, everybody. I just want to say a massive thank you to the mods and the members again in the chat. Anyone who has donated or put super chats in. Anyone who's become a new member. And welcome along all new subscribers as well. If you haven't, please do hit the subscribe button. It's up there on your screen right now if you're catching up later on. And yeah, we are all finished. Thank you, everybody. That was an epic one. I'll see you all first thing in the morning. Have a